Hi, my name's Blake. I'm an artist here at Art for Health. I've been here since the beginning of this year. Although I've been drawing for years and doing all kinds of art, and I've only really got back into paint this year. I've always loved painting, even back when I was in high school. I took a break for it while I was studying, and now I'm getting back into it for my health, and it's really good for me. The exhibition's called First and 23rd. It's my first exhibition and my 23rd year of life. I haven't really presented art before. I've had people look at my art, but I've never really had up here on the wall in a gallery of any kind. I was really excited. I mean, the prospect of showing your art and maybe even getting paid for it, or at least, covering the cost so you can do another one and another one. That was really exciting. I'll admit that it was really daunting when we were talking about putting it on the walls, and as I was setting it up, I really found the process of putting the string on the back and signing them. It was a huge accomplishment. I really just wanted to get back into painting. I mean, I've been out of it for so long, it was kind of rusty, and then I'm also so used to drawing in pencil, so you can smudge and you can draw the lines how you want, and paint is a completely different medium. Up here, where the lines are all blended, I hadn't really gotten into the tree stage yet. I was just spreading paint across a canvas and seeing how the colours blended and looked. I eventually ended up doing something like this, which I really like. It was just about blending the different colours without smudging them all into one colour. So applying all the different colours and brush strokes and using sponges, it really works for me. I did get to the point where Maisie and Ree here at Art for Health were doing a mural. I really liked the way that they did the water and the trees and the bushes and things like that, and I really wanted to have a go at it. I started out with like a mountain as they did, and a waterfall, and tried it again. I was actually more proud of the water bit. I tried trying to do something more abstract, going back to the original style. I went with trying to put green and blues together like I did in the other more where it's land and sea with lakes and little islands, and I quite like this one as an abstract piece. I had another go. I thought trying a forest where the colours are blended all nicely and abstract, but it's still a landscape. It worked out quite well. Here as my final piece, the idea behind it was it's quite flashy but also dark, and there's little bits of light and glitz and glamour to it where you see all the little bits that shine through. I tried splatter paintings, which I didn't realise was a Pollock at the time, and to me it just looked like a little chaos. I called it Chaos Mess. Moved on to like abstract, very abstract, but using brush strokes. And so I've got red, purple, black, blue in there, which was more like a blood and bruising sort of thing where you can't heal until something happens. To work towards the collusion competition, and I was encouraged to start working on something that takes a lot longer, like you work at it over time, but I'm very much into the simple abstract work, and so it's difficult overcoming that to do something specific or something that you're going to have to work on over and over and over for weeks. Getting to the point where you're creating lots of little pictures into a picture, as I'm trying to do for one of my pieces at the moment. Done a background that's very abstract with like reds and blacks and different shades of reds, and so I've been mixing them together and making it splattered. So I will be interested to see how it shows up once it's fully dried, because there's your paint being dry and then your paint actually curing over time, and it does change. So many of these have been finished at a time while they're wet, and they've dried to the point you can touch them, but after that, as they begin to age, the paint stays on the canvas and it just looks different. I like that. I like that art ages with what you're doing, not just as each piece is completed, but each piece in itself ages with the paint and the canvas.